Hello everybody, and welcome to today's review of the Mcfarlane Toys Johnny Silverhand Variant 2. This came out 5 years ago. Mcfarlane Toys released it just before the game came out, and so it is the 7-inch action figures. Here are some of the other ones they do. That is the Johnny Silverhand Variant 1, and that is V. I think they also do a variant of Takamura as well. I have yet to get any of the other ones. I got this from Star Action Figures, and this is in no way promoted, but they are a really good figure company, so thought I might as well. Let's hop into the review. Okay, so straight out of the box, this is an incredible looking figure. As you can see, all the detail is really packed in here. But we're not going to start with the figure, we're going to move him to one side. And instead, we're going to start by looking at the accessories. Okay, so we're going to start off by looking at this incredibly detailed duffel bag that he comes with. The amount of detail that has been put into this bag it's just insane. You've got the samurai logo here, which is the logo for Johnny's band from 2020. We have some kind of California patch here, as well as the samurai logo again, along with some little pin badges and a boom sticker. And also a rock-on sticker, I guess, with Johnny's Silverhand. Inside the bag, we have the bomb detailing. It's not removable or anything. This is hard plastic, but the texturing is just incredible. They've even got electrical tape to keep the bag corner connected. And here as well, there's some electrical tape details. But just the amount of detail, they didn't have to go into the detail at all. They didn't even need to include this, but the amount of detail they've put into this bag is simply incredible. This is my first Mcfarlane figure, but so far I'm already incredibly impressed. Next up here, we have Johnny's Mcfarlane arms, I want to say 3516, something along the lines of that. My only worry is that this is not what Johnny's Mcfarlane arm looks like. I'll put a picture on screen now, side by side. But this is not what it looks like, so I'm quite confused. And we don't see another version of this gun in the game, so I'm very confused at the way this looks. I will do some research afterwards and include it in the edit, but overall the detail is quite nice. There's quite a good amount of detail on the hand grip here. The barrel even says Mcfarlane. We have the red dot laser on the side, along with the tube that the flamethrower comes from. The magazine is quite a detailed silver, which I like. Overall, there's not really that much to say about this gun, other than it's wrong. I'm not sure what happened here. But it is quite interesting to see. I don't know if you can call this accessory, but the figure actually comes with this almost display board in the box. It sits nicely like a square, but you can fold it out, and it's got lots of detail about Johnny Silverhand. You know, it's got the eat this, all the graffiti, vote. I can't really, it says Samurai John. Your mind is a prison. We have rats. These are all kind of things that 2077. These are all kind of things related to Johnny and his character in the game. But we'll move on to the figure now. And now onto the piece de la résistance. We have Keanu Reeves as Johnny Silverhand. I think the amount of detail put into this figure is actually incredible. Like I said, this is my first Mcfarlane figure. So I don't really know what to expect with their figures, but the detail is just incredible. He also comes with a display stand here, with the Cyberpunk logo, and it says model Johnny Silverhand. This actually is included in the backdrop, so you do have to kind of almost rip the backdrop like that, but so long as you keep the plastic connected, it's fine. But the just amount of detail on this figure compared to some others I have is just, it's unmatched. So we'll go through each bits of the detail now. Okay, so starting at the head, Johnny has obviously his signature glasses, the red aviators. These are non-removable. Unfortunately, it would have been quite nice to have the removable glasses like he does on the Hot Toys figure. His beard is printed, which I don't think is too big an issue. It would have been nice to have some kind of printing on the neck to fade the beard a little bit. He's got some printed scuff marks here and here from battle damage and whatnot. His hair is completely sculpted, which is a bit of an issue when you try to move his head, as it does come a bit of a challenge with the sculpted hair. And then moving down, we have Johnny's bulletproof vest with his dog tags. I do wish the dog tags were almost separate, but with the sculpted hair and everything, it wouldn't really have worked, so I am actually glad they did go this route. It's got Johnny's patches here that go on his vest, and it's got the samurai logo on the back. This is incredibly, I believe this is printed, but this is just incredible. The way that they've made it look, even on the samurai logo, it looks kind of handmade. It's just incredible the way that they've made it look old. Coming on to the left arm now, I guess Johnny is right. We have a printed tattoo on his bicep. It is quite unfortunate that these are printed, as you do see quite a lot of the pixels on the tattoo, making it less believable that it's a tattoo. We also have the numbers on his forearm, and these are also printed, as well as this wrap around his wrist. I'm not quite sure what that is. I think it might be another tattoo. And yet on his hand we have a painted, because you can tell it's painted because it's different to the other tattoos, but a painted snake which wraps around the inside of his hand and all the way around, as well as his painted rings, which it doesn't seem to want to focus on, but his painted rings here, which also add a nice element of detail. Next up, we have Johnny's silver hand. This is simply incredible. I've never seen anything like this on a figure before. The kind of black wash over the reds make it really subtle and blends it quite a lot. I'm a bit ill at the minute, sorry, for all the sniffling, but just the gunmetal, like silver, just looks great on this figure. It has some rubber piping around the elbow, as you can see there, as well as the scissors, which I believe he uses to... I don't actually know what the point of those are. If you can tell me in the comments down below about what Johnny uses these for, I'll be very interested to know. More black wash and detailing on the arm here. It's just incredible, the amount of detail that Mcfarlane have put into this arm. I mean, it is the one bit of the figure you really want to get right, but it's just great. Moving down, we have almost a bullet belt, I want to say, on Johnny, as well as starting on I think his trousers are leather. Don't know what else they'd be, but the detailing, especially like here, coming down, it has all the seams and everything. The bullet design, the belt design continues around the back. And then we get on to more detailing around the bottom of his legs here, which just looks, it's incredible. You don't really see detail on many other figures. And then you've got the little painted silver elements of Johnny's boots there, which I think are also great, and I'm glad they're painted. Now, moving on to articulation, we do, as I mentioned before, with the head, have the problem of the sculpted hair kind of stopping most of Johnny's head movement. He can go to about, his head can go all the way around, so it's 360 degree of motion, but other than, it doesn't really go up much or down unless you really force it. So the head articulation isn't the greatest at the neck. Moving on to Johnny's arm, he has a butterfly joint here, so you can move his arm forwards and backwards. He has the bicep joint here, so you can kind of point his arm outward. We have a double joint on his elbow, which is always good to see, as well as a ball joint for his hand, which is also interesting to see. You do get swiveling in the hand as well. Moving on to the silver arm, unfortunately, so it does still have the butterfly joint at the shoulder, but something that was really missed is there is no bicep joint on the silver arm, which means you can only move it. You can't twist that like you can twist this arm, which I think is a real miss. Takes this figure down from being perfect a little bit because it limits posability. The butterfly joint still works for moving it forwards and backwards and stuff, and it has the shoulder joint which makes it go up and down, but other than that there's no bicep joint, which really hinders this. Elbow joint is actually very discreet. I quite like it. It blends in quite well with the figure. And then again, the same wrist joint, but for the Silverhand. Next up, we have his ab articulation, which actually goes quite a way back, as you can see. I don't see this far back being used in posing, but he also does go from side to side. And I didn't mention this on the detail, but there is actually shirt detail underneath the armoured vest, which is always good to see. Next up, we have, Johnny can do a full split, almost full split. There you go, there's the full split. I don't know what joints these are, but they can be moved all around. It's quite simple, front, back, all that. He does have double knee articulation, so you can, have him kneeling or what have you, and he has this on both knees, which is good, because you don't see much knee articulation. Well, you do see knee articulation, but not in a wide range of motion like this. We have the feet, which are, I believe, on a ball joint. I don't really know because you can't tell based on the trousers and the fact that they overhang over the boots, but oh well. And finally, we have the toe articulation, which I can't see it needing to go back that far. Kind of makes Johnny look like he's wearing elf shoes, but you can, straighten that out to a normal amount of range. Coming to the figure with all of his accessories. The Mcfarlane arms actually fits really well in Johnny's hand. I have quite a lot of figures that they don't fit so well, and the gun kind of falls out quite a bit, but this, it's locked in there. I have seen quite a few reviews where I don't know what to call this, but this small bit of plastic here breaks. I have seen quite a few reviews that do that. Luckily mine hasn't. I think you just need to be careful with it, but he can fit his finger in there. And we also have him with the bag. Unfortunately, you do have to make a decision between the gun and the bag, as with Johnny's Silverhand, you can only fit one bag strap in his hand, whereas with the gun hand, you can fit both. So you do have to make a choice between, unless he holds one handle, you have to make a choice between the gun or the bag. Thankfully, there is no place to store the gun on the figure, which I think would have ruined the way it looks, because I think holsters on quite a lot of figures look quite ugly. But it does suck that the Silverhand isn't open enough to hold both straps of the bag. The gun, you can kind of, has all sorts of good poses and stuff that you can choose from. But other than that, this is a really solid figure. I would give it, I think, an 8 out of 10, based on the lack of the bicep joint. The fact that the gun is wrong, I think, also brings it down a little bit, brings out the immersion. I think the head articulation could also be better as well. I don't know if I mentioned, but the bicep joint would have really made this figure and made posing a lot better. You could do, you know, Johnny's signature kind of hands on his belt and stuff. But other than that, this is an incredible figure with an incredible amount of detail. I'll definitely be looking into getting the other Cyberpunk figures to display alongside this one. I think I got this for about £20, 25, 20, which is about, I want to say about $20, which it might be, actually, I don't know how the conversion rates work. I don't know really what that is in terms of American money, but I think that this figure is just incredible. I'd definitely say get it firsthand, purely for the display behind him. I think that looks incredible, and it will work on the shelf really well with him. I did bring another figure for scale. Let me go. So Johnny Silverhand is a 7-inch action figure, which makes him just taller. In fact, quite a bit taller. This is the Marvel Legends Ben Reilly Spider-Man, but it actually does make him quite a bit taller than him. I guess that is only about an inch, yeah. So overall, next to a 6-inch figure, he will be a bit taller, but I don't really think that's a problem, as I'm not really going to be displaying him next to Spider-Man. They kind of have their own place on the shelf. But overall, yeah, I think this figure is an 8 out of 10. It would be better, but I'm glad that it made it. I'm definitely happier I got this version than the variant one. I may look into, instead of getting variant 1 of Johnny, I may just look into getting the accessories because from what I can see, it's mostly the same figure, just with a guitar and a bottle of whiskey. So I might look into just getting I don't know, if the hands are different, the hands might be different. That might be something that's a problem. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope you look at some of my others. So I'll see you next time.